Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to yet another, fun discussion. Today I am sitting up in the woods on a, ouch, bug, sorry about that, on a bridge, dangling my feet because it's like 1,000 degrees today in Vermont with like 200% humidity. We don't usually get that, so talking about climate change, whoa boy. And anyway, and Giovanni's with me. He's currently rolling in the leaves and having a fabulous time. Just hope I don't drop my phone in the, brook. Probably won't be the first time. Okay, so my name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and today I thought we'd talk about organizing, or tips for organizing the adult ADHD mind, or the fast mind. So just to kind of rehash for some of you who might be listening for the first time, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and we talked about that, and doing the whole world a favor and getting rid of that last D for sure, because disorder, I can't think of a person out there that, and that's a statement. I know lots of people, and 56 years I've lived, I've met a lot of people, and no one I know likes that word. Nobody. Why? Because it's a shame word, and shame words are stupid, because they make us feel less than, and the world kind of can, the life's curveballs can do that enough. Like, we don't need to bring it on ourselves and identify with it. That doesn't make any sense at all, at least to me. So shame words really are about, it's that excruciating feeling. Oops, got my little fingy in the camera there. Excruciating feeling of feeling flawed or defective in some way, and just plain not enough, like damaged goods. And that's what shame is. And the word disorder is a shame word, which kind of is a catalyst for helping us to feel that way. And if somebody's already shame-based, they had a rough childhood, they've had a rough time, because they haven't come into their good place with their wonderfully fast mind yet. And then the word disorder and what it's associated with it then confirm what they already hold to be true about themselves. And that's horrible, because, and just remember, the whole point of doing these YouTubes for me is to help you become the boss of your brain and to help you see your own value. That is the whole point, and it's wonderfully rewarding. I just enjoy it so much I can't even tell you. So we're going to start with the tips. And I will tell you that I'm still managing this myself. At a fabulous 56, I've certainly gotten much better. And whenever, not that I've had a ton of reviews in my life, but at the place where I teach, love it, that, Champlain College. And when there are reviews, and, often, an employer will say, they go through your strengths. At least a good one, it should go positive, what to work on, positive. That it's like a bell curve, right? Start out with good stuff, what we need to work on, and then end with good stuff. That's how it should go. And that's how it's gone for me. And I haven't had a ton of them, but my automatic default for the middle part of what to work on, and at Champlain, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say the word weakness. We're a strength-based college, and we don't use words like that. But anyway, my thing to work on, it's my default is organization, because I'm managing it. Sorry, deer flies. Managing it, and it's still hard. It's just a real conscious effort. So here we go. I have 6 things. I actually just did this for an article I wrote for somebody, Psychology Magazine. I forget which one. It's not Psych Today, though. I've done that, though. They're on there. If you want to look up Psych Today, my article's on there. A lot of ADHD stuff on there that I had fun writing. Okay, so the first one is to simplify. I cannot say enough about this. Whether you have a fast mind or you don't, that whole less is more thing, I don't usually speak in bumper sticker, but, there's a lot of truth to bumper stickers, actually. The ones that are the one-liners, especially the ones from the 12-step program, and they just have a lot of good ones, and living simply is up there on their list too. And it's just true, and it's just, because the thing is, clutter within causes clutter without. Clutter on the inside causes clutter on the outside, and the reverse. Clutter on the outside causes clutter on the inside. And so, in fact, right now we're doing probably the biggest renovation of our adult lives, my husband and I. And I'm certainly not complaining, because I'm so grateful to be able to finally do this after putting 5 kids through college. And it's a blessing and a gift. And at the same time, just with my wiring, having stuff, none of it in the same, I'm no neat freak either. It's just paths through the living room, stuff everywhere. It's been tough a little bit, just from an executive functioning standpoint. And it's also been great to make all these piles, because I just got rid of all of it. Waited till people weren't home. And I mean, I wouldn't get rid of anything that was theirs, because that wouldn't be respectful. But I did just do it like one fell swoop. And it feels great. I feel like I can breathe again. So clutter on the outside causes clutter on the inside, and it's best for the Fast Mind Club. And again, I would say neurotypicals also. So I'm going to just swat at these bugs this entire time. That'll keep you awake and paying attention. So that's a good thing. Maintaining a Spartan environment sets ADHDers, we ADHDers, up to be successful. Minimalist is the way to go, I'm telling you, and even in life in general, because even neurotypicals, that clutter on the outside causes clutter on the inside thing. That's true for everybody. It's just worse for us. Way worse, but worse for us. And there isn't anybody out there who can't, benefit from being a minimalist. And so the way to kind of really help and throw a life raft to a struggling or challenged, I like to say struggling, sometimes struggling, because it's a gift. So we'll just say challenged with an executive functioning system that's wired differently. The minimalist thing is the way to go. And the next one is to delegate detail-oriented tasks. So this particular conversation is for adults, and I have had a request, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, about teens. I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, anyway, soon, because it'll be very close but a little different. So detail-oriented tasks, and I've mentioned that for me, one of my biggest sources of shame with my fast mind has been money, which is no longer my story. We talked about that last time. I no longer, sort of identify with that story, though I do identify with my ADHD mind because it's so much a part of me. Because that's all better now, and I don't need to keep, reliving that, except in an empty shell kind of way, like, because it's so kind of over, like a skeleton without the meat on it. So I can share it with other people very easily, and I don't mind. I'm an open book, because if it helps you, that just is excellent. I mean, if we can bring inner peace to somebody else, be a vehicle or channel for that, why wouldn't you, right? But it doesn't bother me anymore. I can share it and help people, and it's not like it doesn't get its hooks in me anymore or have me feeling less than or anything. It's just a really great feeling. So it's kind of, it's empty, like the walnut without the shell, I guess. Okay, so important tasks such as managing checkbooks on there, that's not for us if we can help it. I've since kind of worked around it. The electronic banking helps a lot, but if you've got a partner or a trusted, sibling or other family member, or a really close trusted friend or something like that that can, take some of it off of you, that'd be great. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It can be the parts that are the hardest for you. Flies just don't want to leave me alone, I guess because I'm so sweet. Okay, They can be hazardous for relationships, and it was for me not hazardous, but it was challenging for our relationship for a while, and we since worked through it. And with electronic banking, once again, this is a great option. Also, I have down here, I'm going to walk so these bugs don't bother me as much anymore. I have down here too, just hold on a second while I readjust getting out of the bridge here. Feng Shui your glove box or your glove compartment, whatever it is you call it. I have a tiny little first aid kit, itty bitty, like the size of a Band-Aid box, with some, sterile things to wipe stuff off, and I think a gauze, that's it. And I have my Jeep manual in there, and my registration, and insurance cards, and a tiny flashlight. None of that takes up any room. It's basically empty. And the more Feng Shui spots you can create for yourself, the better off you feel. It doesn't always have to just be your house. People think, just clean this and clean that. That's all good, but the more Feng Shui spaces you can accumulate, the better off you'll be with your wonderfully fast mind in general. Keep the car Feng Shuied, your desk at work or whatever Feng Shuied. And when all else fails and stuff gets cluttered, I'm like, well, at least I got a clean glove compartment. It's empty. If you were a mouse, you could do Zumba in there. Another one I have is an old school calendar. So a lot of, especially the young ones, don't really want to do this, and we'll talk about that when I do the teenager one. But the old school calendar, and again, it's something to be fun. It's usually my husband, but sometimes it's one of the kids. At Christmas time, they'll give me a calendar, and they know I love Lucy, and I'm a huge HP or Harry Potter fan. So those and skiing, so they'll pick out one that you like. So pick out something that's good. My current one, Giovanni, there he is, nice and cool. My current one is Harry Potter, and I write on that. You just write all over it, and it's so good. I have it tacked up on the wall where you enter well, it's my very new sexy kitchen, I must say, with trees. It's got cool trees in it. And the Harry Potter calendar is right there. And there are advantages to this, several advantages. First of all, it's right there in a prominent spot. So if you're going to go in and get your tea or coffee or snacks throughout the day or eventually dinner, you're probably going to walk in and out of your kitchen a whole lot of times. I'm thinking if you're virtual, you're really walking in there a whole lot of times. But it's right there. And if you're living with a partner or roommate or partner and kids, the other added bonus is all your appointments, and just put your important stuff on there, because otherwise it gets too cluttered, and that doesn't help us, okay? But hair appointments, other appointments, stuff you would put in your phone, but quite honestly, it's really beneficial for us to have it on the wall and markers. It just works. It just works. Other people are walking by it too, so they can notice the dentist appointment at 10 o'clock or whatever a.m. and a family member might say, hey mom, or hey dad, or hey brother, whoever, or your sister or whatever, just reminding you have a meeting, you're scheduled with your boss, or you've got a haircut, or you've got a whatever appointment, a checkup. And it can really be beneficial to have other people sort of seeing what your appointments are, and put them clearly up there as well. And let me see here. All appointments, colored markers, other people see them. Okay, fifth one, consolidate. So basically, this is about me not wanting to carry a purse. I've never carried a purse. I tried it as a teenage girl for a while. For a little while, I even questioned if something was wrong with me. Am I not as girly as everybody else? I don't know, because I tried it a few times. I left it wherever. I just left them places. Then I tried to get one with a string, and that didn't work either. I just felt like I was wearing a choker collar all day. So I just stopped pretty early on. I didn't have one in college, didn't have one all the way through graduate school, momhood, anything. Then it turned into diaper bags, and that worked great for me because I could throw everything in there and just carry that around. But I didn't carry a purse. So consolidate. So I have an attaché. I think some people call them briefcases, whatevs, right? And I just put everything in there. I've got this, my laptop and the things I need professionally, and then I've got a small, skinny little wallet. I don't usually carry cash anyway. I don't think most of us don't really do that anymore. And so it's a skinny little wallet that has my license and my ID to get into the college, and it's so simplified, and it's thin, so it's not all bulked up. It doesn't hurt my back. Thin laptop, a couple of folders, and that's really it. Now I stop and get a turkey bagel on the way there that's wrapped up in nice tight paper. I throw that in there, and it's so easy. Throw the strap over your shoulder. I know that my keys, my wallet, everything in there. I don't have extra purses and extra things that I'm just going to set down someplace. I know I am. At 56, if I could do it differently by now, kind of like what I say with the checkbooks, if I could do it differently right now, I would have. I would have done it by now. It would have happened. I'd be a purse-carrying, psychology professor, if that's really what was meant to happen. And clearly it isn't. Plus, I'm kind of fast-moving, in case you didn't notice. I have a fast mind, and I relax by walking and running and skiing. And the whole purse-carrying cultural thing just isn't for me. And so, I left that stuff behind. That's just it. Okay, and then we have surround yourself with good people. We talked about that before. Just in general, people should surround themselves with good people. Obviously, that benefits everyone. Though particularly when someone identifies or has something extra to deal with, it's even that much more important, I think. I mean, it's again important for everybody, but for those of us who have something extra to deal with, it's best to surround ourselves with people who not only are tolerant. Hopefully, we've passed just plain old tolerant by now. And even accepting is sort of the next level, and that's better. But to get to the point where we are embracing someone and their gifts, and so that they not only love you, but they love your wonderful, fast mind. So surrounding yourself with good people, because love, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, it's just the truth. I don't mean it religiously. You can turn it into that if you want to. But love is an action word for me. And it means really, for me, not just wanting and wishing the best for other people, but to actually be the vehicle of what's best for them, right? It's an action word to me, totally. So we're past tolerance. We're lifting it up to acceptance. We're lifting it up higher than that to actually and embrace, almost like living a hug, like a live hug, like wrapping around that person and their fast mind exactly as they are, and valuing the gifts that they bring to the table. That's what we're talking about. And for me at 56, we get to the teenage one later because they're not as able to do this, but it's kind of like a sports team. You know, like there's tryouts sort of through life. And, you know, if anybody doesn't make the cut, you know, then you don't need them. You don't need the toxics, don't need the judgers. You need the good people, because the thing is that the number one, you know, anti-venom for shame, right? The number one anti-venom for shame is love. Shame does not stand a chance, not a chance, against genuine love and compassion. So those are your 6 things, okay? Those are your 6. Let's read them off again. Sorry, I set them down. Okay, so simplify. Clutter on the outside causes clutter on the inside. Delegate detail-oriented tasks. Feng Shui your glove box or glove compartment. Get an old school calendar and write your appointments on it someplace and tack it up someplace super visible and central to everybody in your family. Consolidate. Keep everything you need in one place for the day. We're talking about for the day, like whatever you carry around. And then lastly, surround yourself with good people, because this is how our gifts, our very natural gift of creativity can just soar, because shame does not stand a chance against genuine love and compassion. Thank you, and have a wonderfully mindful day.